Welcome to Get Sleepy, the podcast where we listen, we relax, and we get sleepy. I'm your host, Thomas. Thank you for tuning in. Tonight, we'll be walking the halls of perhaps the greatest library of the ancient world, and we might even run into one of the most famous scholars of the age while we're there. So now, let's spend some time unwinding and settling in for a good night's sleep. Just turn your attention to your breathing for the next few moments. Feel the way the air travels in and out of your body in a natural, soothing rhythm. To help yourself relax even further, you can just try to slow down the breath so that the inhale is deep and full, and the exhale just extends to the point where you can release any lingering tension. Just like waves coming and going on an ocean shoreline, your breathing is part of your body's natural rhythm. It keeps everything in perfect balance and flow, and it's a great way to ground yourself and find calm, peace, and presence as you settle down for the night. Now, let your mind go on an adventure. Imagine that feeling of dozing in bed with light streaming gently through the window. The salty, sweet aroma of the ocean wafts into the room. The sea breeze lifts the curtains, and the fabric dances lazily above you. The lulling sound of distant waves reaches your ears, washing into shore, then out. If you listen closely enough, you can hear the melodic call of gulls and the occasional snap of a fabric sail. And this is where our story begins, on the coast of the Mediterranean, in the city of Alexandria in Egypt, many, many years ago. You step out of the shade of your home and feel the blazing golden sun on your skin, tempered by the cool breeze blowing off the middle sea. The gentle ocean wind coming from the north tugs at the extra fabric of the tunic around your legs. Heading out of the yard, you let your hand run over the rough, sandy-coloured bark of your favourite sycamore. It's a young tree, transplanted here recently, like most of the buildings and most of the people. This year, is 241 BCE, and the entire city of Alexandria is less than 100 years old. As you head down the hill, you duck in and out of the shade in the Egyptian quarter of town. Hints of the fishing village that stood on the place that became Alexandria are visible all around. You catch glimpses of Egyptian lotus columns throughout this part of the city. The decorative sections at the top, called capitals, are carved into intricate and beautiful flower petal shapes. There's even the occasional old mud and brick home or shed, tucked away among the modern, truss-roofed Greek villas. This is your favourite part of the walk. You stop at a street corner and let the procession of a nobleman parade go by lazily. A train of impeccably robed servants passes by, with an important-looking man at the head, riding a beautiful Egyptian stallion. Glancing down the hill, you can see between the gaps in the buildings. There, over the blue-green sea, stands the lighthouse of Alexandria. It was only finished recently, but it still takes your breath away. Everyone says it's the tallest building in the world, and you believe it. This incredible structure is more than 300 feet tall, from the base to the statue of the god on top. The morning sun glimmers off the limestone and granite, and smoke billows from the lantern room, guiding ships from every corner of the world. The building is monumental, embodying the beauty and power of modern civilization, all block edges and sheer faces of stone. Egyptian trade ships and Greek triremes, with their giant sails and rows of oars, bob through the harbour beneath the great lighthouse. There's so much to look at in such a busy port, you think to yourself. Continuing on, you soon come to the expanse of the Canopus Way, a bustling main street paved in stone. It stretches from the Sun Gate on the east end of the city to the Moon Gate on the west. Decorative rectangular pools divide the centre of the main thoroughfare. You're not really supposed to play in the water, but everyone does, especially the children. You head over to a stall just a stone's throw from the Agora, the huge plaza where the Canopus meets the Soma. That's the large street running from the south end of the city to the Royal District following the water. From the vendor, you order a popular local snack, fried fish, caught fresh this morning. As you sit by one of the fountains in the middle of the street, you let yourself people watch for a moment. So many interesting individuals pass you by. There are Egyptian farmers with carts pulled by donkeys heading to the markets. Greek tradespeople amble past, engaged in a friendly discussion about stonework. Guards and army officials travel on small Egyptian horses, and the occasional chariot flies past, its wheels and the horse's hooves creating a rhythmic pattering sound on the stone. You close your eyes and let yourself fall into the lullaby of the city. Alexandria is a modern marvel, a marriage of Greek power and ingenuity, and Egyptian beauty and history. All over the city are technologies that were only dreamed of a century ago. One such example is the causeway on the west end of the city. It connects Pharos, the lighthouse island, with the mainland. It's 3/4 of a mile long and was built by the engineers of Alexander the Great himself. Aqueducts hem the southern portion of the city, bringing water into every district. Plumbing feeds luxurious bathtubs and other necessities. Water clocks tick away the minutes of the day with the most impressive inner workings. You've even been to a few temples that have central heating in the form of hot air blown up through flues in the ground. Even the city grid layout, with its wide cobblestone streets, is something of a marvel. Alexandria feels so dynamic and cutting edge. What every modern city should be, you think. But nothing compares to the wonders held within the library. A pair of friendly cats watch you from a nearby alley as you stand up and make your way along the canopus. The institution of the Muses looms up on your right, on the north side of the street. Hundreds upon hundreds of students, artists, philosophers, and scholars walk the sprawling campus. Gardens, faculties, dormitories, and an amphitheatre are surrounded by the towering manors of the royal district. This is the centre of art, culture, and science, and the library is its crowning jewel. The front edifice is a masterpiece of craftsmanship, with countless steps, columns, and statues. It's positively monumental, you think, like the lighthouse that rises over the harbour in the distance. Even though the front section is only 2 levels, the scale of the library is daunting. There are statues of the Muses inset on the first level, and bas-reliefs on the beam across the top of the entryway. The architrave has images of the goddess Athena consorting with Alexander, the god king. All in all, it makes the library look like a temple, which it is in a way. A temple to knowledge, and the single greatest collection of writing in the world. You pass by students and scribes, relaxing on the front steps, sharing an early lunch. And you greet a couple of attendants on your way through the domed lobby. Every inch of the library tells a story, from the mosaic floors to the frescoes above. Recently completed artwork on the columns and floors depicts scenes from history and myth. According to prophecy, Alexander was the son of the god Zeus Ammon, so there are many illustrations of him walking amongst the gods. You inquire after the head librarian with one of his workers and learn he's tutoring in the mathematics section. The sun shines through the rings of windows above, with the muses posing in every arch beneath the dome over this section. The deeper you get into the library, the stronger the scent of papyrus. It's a familiar aroma of wood, earth, and hints of spice. You find it comforting, like walking through an exotic garden on a dry summer day. Scrolls of parchment, tied up and categorized, are piled on every shelf as far as the eye can see. Occasionally, a scribe or scholar will wander into a section, hands exploring the different tomes. They climb tall ladders, tediously pushed back and forth by bored-looking attendants, before finding what they're after. The knowledge spans an impossible understanding of the world. From lyric poetry to natural science, comedy, and medicine. You can't even pick your favorite section. There's something new to learn with every scroll. As you round the corner, you hear the sound of your leather sandals tapping across the stone. It echoes through the chamber, drawing a few glances. The mathematics section is relatively quiet today, likely due to the presence of the head librarian and his student. A boy sits at a table, looking a bit distracted. Papyrus scrolls filled with writing about integers and irrational numbers are spread out in front of him. He barely acknowledges your arrival as you look around for the head librarian. But you wouldn't expect anything different. He is, after all, the prince. He can't be more than 7 or 8, dark-haired, with a chin like his father, but he already has the somewhat disinterested air of someone important, at least when it comes to studying his maths homework. Before long, you see the head librarian. Eratosthenes walks out from one of the rows, his arms overladen with scrolls. He has an excited look on his face. He's a famous polymath, a scholar with wide-ranging interests, from rhetoric to science to poetry. But he has a particular love for the study of mathematics. He is the Library of Alexandria's 3rd head librarian, and, He's a bit of a prodigy, taking over the position a year ago, at the relatively young age of 35. His thick, bushy beard is streaked with grey, and his head of curly hair is already receding. You can imagine what a marble bust of his face would look like. Impressive, to say the least. Still, his relative youth is betrayed in his eyes and expressions. He's passionate about all his fields of study, and he's known to be an enthusiastic lecturer, barely able to contain his curiosity. When he talks, he often pulls together ideas from many different subjects. Poetry joins with mathematics. Comedies find their way into historical epics, and they all blend into a study of the stars. Seeing you waiting near the prince, he gestures for you to come over. Then, he asks you to go and find his treatise on the circumference of the world. He speaks about it so casually, it's as if he were asking you to grab a spare pair of sandals. Luckily, you know exactly where it is, down the hall where scribes are busily working on transcriptions. Your footsteps are muted by the piles and stacks of empty papyrus. A couple of younger library attendants are busy gluing together lengths of papyrus. These will be rolled up into scrolls. The woody, familiar scent is so potent here that it clings to the robes of scribes when they leave at the end of the day. The soft whisper of dozens of reed pens scratching against papyrus sounds like gently drizzling rain. There are scribes around every corner, diligently copying or translating works gathered from travellers and distant scholars. You find the head librarian's treatise in a section filled with works in progress. Since he finished his calculations in the past year or so, scribes have been steadily copying his work to send to colleagues in Cyrene and Athens. They hope that other mathematicians there will copy and share his writing with others, perhaps even improving on his calculations. This is what the library is all about: preserving and spreading knowledge. Every library and scholar across the world is like a point of connection in a giant web. It's a wonderful network to be a part of. You take one of the copies back to the head librarian and the prince. The former unfurls the papyrus scroll out over the table. Your eyes mirror his. They show a hungry excitement, understanding that the knowledge of the world is at your fingertips. He reads the first section of his work out loud. It's a dedication to the poet who inspired his life's work. Then he turns to the prince with a twinkle in his eye. With enough data from any observable source, You can understand anything, he says. He smiles at the young leader, hoping he too will pick up some enthusiasm for mathematical pursuits. Like many students might do, the prince merely sighs. The scholar calls his impressive study Geographica, the nature and relative arrangement of places and physical features. He's not the first one to use the word, but he's the first one to apply it so powerfully. The head librarian explains how he used the reports of beamatists to inform his study. Those are the people who are trained to count their steps accurately between one place and another in order to measure a distance. Their work is often used for the sake of taxation and agricultural development. But, he says, a scholar looks for knowledge of the world wherever they can find it, be it in the writings of poets or the scribbles of bureaucrats. He used these surveys alongside the position of the sun in what he calls meridians. Those are the lines that lay across Gaia, the world, from north to south. They are based on the position of the sun at its highest point. According to his calculation, people have barely seen a fraction of the world at this point in history. There could be entire lands with other people like Alexandrians just over the horizon, he says. The prince yawns. The head librarian clucks his tongue playfully and suggests they move to the lyric poetry section for the rest of the afternoon. The prince's eyes light up at this idea. Like his family and his father Alexander, the prince is obsessed with myth and legend. The head librarian asks if you would mind cleaning up after them as they head for the poetry section. You're happy to lend a hand. You begin to tenderly roll up the papyrus scrolls, noticing how the rough material feels in your hands. Attendants come over to help you reshelve them. For the next while, you're able to work on your own studies and transcriptions, making sure to stay close enough to the head librarian and his student in case he needs another scroll. Eventually, the prince is released into the care of the royal guard for the day. You follow the head librarian to his study to help him find a scroll he's misplaced that's all about constellations. The place is as chaotic and complex as the man's mind. You search through scrolls filled with translations of Egyptian sailors' narratives, as well as commentaries on Homeric tales. You find the scroll eventually, buried under a pile of similar writings. He uses a small mechanical device of his own invention to prop the scroll open. The device is a marvel, as it's also a model of celestial objects. concentric bronze rings are connected through intricate mechanisms to simulate the movement of stars, with Gaia at its center. For a moment, you admire his handiwork, thinking of how the stars appear to move in great arcs across the midnight sky. He smiles and thanks you for your help today. And so, you leave him in his study. Turning to glance back before you go, you see him running his hands over the scroll, muttering to himself about the procession of the world's movements through the ether. Walking back into the main halls of the library, you see that the chariot of the sun is sailing across the sky. This late in the day, the light is glancing through the westerly windows, hanging over Alexandria's gate of moon. The sunset bathes the library in gentle golds and oranges. You bundle the scrolls you were working with today, so they can be retrieved again tomorrow. And you leave them with an attendant. On the steps outside, a group of students and scholars are gathered together. You spot one of your friends, a student of philosophy from the sandy city of Memphis. He tells you there's a visiting cynic philosopher who promises the path to mental clarity and understanding. You politely decline. The skies are clear, so it will be a good night to see the stars. You bid your friend goodbye and head north in the direction of the water. Down by the water's edge, you glance up at the lighthouse as you step onto the causeway leading over to the island. You like to come here and think about the nature of the world as the sun sets, with the waves washing gently against the rocky coast nearby. The distant light of the setting sun burns on the horizon as it slips into the realm of darkness. Soon you'll head home, but for now, you'd like a moment just to relax and think. You close your eyes and feel the light on your eyelids, your elbows resting on the sides of the causeway. Ideas circle your mind like the many layers of a head librarian's invention. You think about how philosophy dances with the natural sciences, and about all the ideas written down on scrolls inside the magnificent building you just left. With a sigh of gratitude, you think this is the perfect way to end a day spent in the halls of the great library of Alexandria.